Call this meeting to order at 3:15. Let's stand and bless the meeting. Father, we just, God, thank you so much for this day, Lord. God, thank you for where you brought us to, Father, here in the tribe. And Lord, we pray for the future for our leaders, Lord, and the people coming in, Lord. Just continue just to be with them, God, and give them wisdom and guidance and love and forgiveness and mercy, Lord. And God, I pray for the existing council members, Father. Lord, I just pray you just use them, God, in a mighty way, Lord, and that so your glory can be revealed, Father. And God, just most of all this, I thank you so much for this time, Lord, that I've been able to be part of this this great nation, Lord. And God, just be with us today, Lord, as we do your business and the Cherokee people's business. And God, we just most of all thank you for your cross and forgiveness when we fall short. We praise you for all these things. Amen.
Amen.
Yes, sir. David Walkingston.
Honey.
Brian Warner.
Honey.
Bill England.
Honey.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Harley Buzzer.
Here.
Joe Bird.
Honey.
Sean Crittenden.
Here.
Mike Dobbins.
Here.
Shannon Duncan.
Honey.
Wanda Hatfield.
Honey.
Rex Jordan.
Here.
Nick Lake.
Honey.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mary Bakershaw.
Honey.
Gil Smith.
Here.
Janice Taylor. Here. Victoria Vasquez.
Honey.
We have one.
All right, thank you. To hear a motion to approve the minutes of July 15th, 2019.
So moved.
So
Second.
moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, ayes have it. Reports, vocational programs, Ms. Diane Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the council. I too am like Secretary Hill. I've enjoyed working with the outgoing council members. Some of you all I see quite often, others I only see just when we have committee meetings, and some of you all I guess we're going to get to see a lot more of on a day-to-day basis. But I just want to say that on behalf of my directors and career services, we've thoroughly enjoyed working with all of y'all. Y'all have been good to work with. Thank you. You have my report. I got a letter this morning from Kim Carroll where we got our letter from John Desk, who is our regional director out of the Dallas regional office, and the national office has approved our TANF.
Yeah.
And they expect the official letter to be sent any day now. So we have got our numbers from the state, and we know exactly which counties will probably have some of the caseloads. And we'll be rolling that out, and that will be part of our orientation on the, I believe it's the, let me look at the date. On Friday, August the 23rd, that's the day that we've got scheduled for everybody to go to the various departments that they want to meet with. There's like 3 hours in the morning with health, and then you go to 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And that's when we'll be talking to you about what the TANF program is going to do. And then we'll be getting some information for you. And then we'll be meeting with different entities. Ramona Holt was doing the happy dance. She got her advanced ed letter that said that Talking Leaves had passed all of the accreditation to be admitted to advanced ed. So we get our advanced certification. And then she also got her Oklahoma State Department of Education accreditation for 2019 and 2020. We had the monitor that came from Northeastern State University to do the monitoring visit, and he was really pleased with what he saw. And we got our accreditation and our advanced ed. So this will be in our monthly report next month. But Mona said, will you take that and let them know that I do know my job and we are doing a good job in our academic program. And I have to brag on Daryl Legg. When he was working for me, Daryl got a grant through Department of Justice. And one of the things that they were supposed to do, and Matt Lamont's got to carry this out, was to develop a resource guide. Well, we are meeting regularly with the resource people in Muskogee, Sequoyah County, Adair, and Cherokee County. It's a 4-county group. And we've been meeting with them for about 2.5 years. Actually, we started it because of the grant we got. Daryl started the resource guide, and then he jumped ship on us. And so the lady at Creoke said, I've got a couple of interns from Northeastern, and they have to have a project. So if Daryl would share that, we can finish that resource guide. So guess what? Here's the resource guide. And it's got all kinds of resources for the Ford County area. So, Councilman Dobbins, Councilman upcoming Legg, Smith, Kanan, Sean, Rex, Joe, Councilman-elect Nofire. We can give you copies of this, or we can send it to you by email, and you can make your own copy. So if you all are interested in it, we'll do that. But I thought it was really good because these interns from Northeastern did this for us. And sometimes interns come through and do you a good job. So we got our information that we're working on with the council orientation and the tours. The tours, we don't have them identified where we're actually going in the outlining areas on the 28th, but we do have the tours for the 27th. And I've got different entities that said they'd provide brunch or lunch or dinner for those tours. And all the council members, any of y'all are welcome to jump on the bus with us anywhere, and we'll tell you where the route's gonna be, and you can jump on there, or you can meet us at one of the field offices. I know Keith did that when we were up in Claremore 2 years ago, and give us a little history lesson. Mike can come over to the clinic when we go through to the clinic. It doesn't matter. I don't care what if you can just join us for part of it, we'd appreciate it. And we've got the schedule. We'll get it out to you. I've given the draft to Taryn, and we're going to work on the tours probably this week. And Deborah Lack said to remind everybody, if you plan on riding or you've got a band, I know Janice, you helped us with bands last year, or if you got a fire truck from your area, your rural fire department, or any of your community meetings out there, if they want to come and participate in the parade, Deborah has sent out the form, and we would encourage you all to have some of your community people to be in our parade. That's all I have, Mr. Chair.
Councilman Crittenden?
Van, do you work with Tulsa Welding School?
Yes, we do.
I got a question here.
Okay.
Got a boy coming from Oak Ridge Mountain up there. He's going, and I don't know if it's through Cherokee Nation. I'm gonna get that information, but it's like $60 a week. I guess he's talking tuition, but
I don't know.
and you know, some gas money help. If they go through Cherokee Nation, do they get some help with stuff like that?
It depends on the individual's needs, and they would have to see the counselor. Is he Adair County?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Forkiller.
Okay.
And Robert's who he needs to see in our office in Stillwell.
Okay, and let me ask you this. Let's say he's already into it, and he sees this help through Cherokee Nation. Can he kind of go about that?
What they'll do is they'll look to see if he's getting any Pell, or FAFSA or anything, or if he's got a scholarship, or if they've already taken care of his housing needs. We cannot reimburse him for any of that,
From
but we
here
can
on.
assist him with part of it, or if he needs some certain kinds of clothing or a helmet or something like
Even if he
that.
started on his own?
Yes.
Thank you.
But he'll have to determine what the needs are and bring in something from the school. And there's for me to sit here and tell you that he'll qualify, everybody's different.
Assuming he qualifies.
Yeah, and he could be on the state program too.
Okay. Thank you, Robert Fortkiller. He's a good one. Thank you.
Oh, and last month, I think there was 2 or 3 of y'all said that there was somebody that you were going to give me a list of names to check into. I never received anything. For what? I think Councilman Walkenstick, you were one, and somebody else, it might have been you, Sean, or I'm not sure. It was in my
Was it
notes
regarding
that there was some
name?
people to check into. And
Was
you
it
said you'd give
regarding-
me a list, and I never got anything.
Regarding what?
People that were going into training, you were asking whether or not they were going to
Yes.
qualify for any help. And I said, just get me the names and we check into it, but I never received anything.
I reached out to that young lady, and I told her to reach out to you.
Okay.
Okay.
She may have come through the system, has already seen somebody. The vocational training is under George Roach, and he's up at the Southgate building, so they could have gone up there directly.
I did relay the information that, right when you were addressing it.
Okay.
Thank you for following up.
All right.
Any other questions for Ms. Diane? Yes.
Report.
Your report,
Thank
Diane.
you.
It was good.
Thank you.
It was great working with you.
Well, I enjoyed working with all of you all too.
Yes. So, stay
And
cool.
if there's anything we can do in the future, or if you know of anybody that you want to send our way, feel free to do so.
Yes.
We're here to serve. Bye-bye.
Yes. Ron Etheridge, Executive Director's Report.
Good afternoon. It's been good to serve with all the council, but it's you council members going out. I tried to get by to shake hands with you over there at 11 and didn't quite touch base with all of you, but anyway, I just want to let you know it's been good serving with you. And you have a report, but I have 4 or 5 things that I'll touch on that you may not have right now that are not included in that report. In our youth, we've elected our little Cherokee ambassadors last Saturday evening. And in fact, I've got a picture of it. Along with the names, I'll just pass around right here. Let you see it. Our junior Miss Cherokee competition will be this Saturday. And it will be in the Tahlequah Armory with a reception at 4:30 and the contest at 6. And then the following Saturday, in the Cornerstone Fellowship Church, where it traditionally has been and will be again this year, we will have our Miss Cherokee competition. And with the same format, 4:30 reception, 6 o'clock competition. So you have that. It was not included in your report. Also, our Tribal Youth Council, the applications are now online for the 2019-20 Youth Council members. And got to thinking, Ms. Shaw, the pitch that you put toward the at-large council member, and the little gal came from up in Kansas. She missed one time. She made an effort to be here. And so, anyway, that was a good thing. And so we've accepted that and moved on. And of course, Wanda, you were part of that as well. And we'll continue that again this year with that. Let's see. And I heard this mentioned in an earlier report, and I wanted to tell y'all, it's the first time I've sat down and really observed 2 hours of this meeting prior to coming in here. I mean, I just kind of rather come in here myself, kind of shoot from the hip and go from there and tell you what we do and not listen to the other reports. But I kind of, for some reason, I sat there and I watched this report, and you're very similar in all aspects of it. I mean, whoever's being sitting in this seat right here, it's pretty consistent with your questions and so forth. So and I don't mind answering them. I do like knowing in advance, if at all possible. I had a board superintendent, and then I also, with the Secondary School Activity Association, I felt like I knew prior to going in, and that way I can give you a better report. And I know you can't always do that, but if you can do that to each and every one of us, it's great. If we know going into it what it is. But you were consistent with your questions and things. And it's not just me, it's others you ask questions of. And you want to know. Your constituents placed you where you're at, so you want to be able to tell them. You've had phone calls and things like this. I understand that's part of it, and that goes with it. I'll tell you one other thing, and then I'll answer any questions that you might have. If I can't answer them, Jennifer's back here, I'll get her help. But I've been placed on a committee, and the reason I'm telling you this, and it affects some of your schools, and if you have some concerns, if you have maybe some guidance that you can give me, then I'm willing to take it to the state capitol. But I've superintendent appointed a 40-person committee to study Senate Bill 441, which is the 4-day school week, in essence, is what it amounts to. And it's, we only have like 6 districts, and we have 3 that are pre-K 12 districts and 3 that are pre-K 8 that are doing the 4-day week. Now, the consensus I got from the first meeting, and there's lots of 4-day representatives there at that meeting. We have very little compared to most throughout the state because there's 130 some odd of them out there. And but anyway, if you have concerns, if you have comments or things that you'd like to say and like me to take to the next meeting, email me, call me, whatever, and I will listen. I'm gonna have to be swayed, I can tell you right now, because I'm leaning one direction, and as far as my say is concerned, and but there's 40 people, and then it's got to go before the legislative body, is what it amounts to, because I mean basically they're taking this committee suggestion and then taking it before the legislative body to see kind of the way they feel like they need to go.
Hey, Ron,
Yes.
are the schools going to have an option, or is that going to be mandated?
Well,
for a
this
4-day?
this bill is to mandate 165 days. Right now, it's basic. It can be totally on hours.
Yeah.
And then the number of hours is 1,080. And so we have schools right now, and there's only a handful of them, that's doing less than 135 school days. How you can educate in less than 135 days, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm an old traditional school person, and mine is brick and mortar and let's get it done. Now, I
Yes.
know, we have charters that come on TV and advertise, and I'm sure it may work in certain cases, but it's hard for me to believe it works in most cases. So that's just my opinion.
Hey, Councilwoman Taylor?
I have a few questions for you. You said it was so many days or so many hours. Have the required hours changed with this bill, or the hours still the same?
No, the hours would be the same, okay?
Okay.
And the days is basically
Right.
what's
And my
changed.
follow-up is, have you been in contact with the superintendents of the schools that we have in our
No, and
jurisdiction?
I need to do that before I
Okay.
go to the next meeting. I do,
Okay.
and especially those that are that are doing the 4-day, okay? And
I
I
think
know
I
you
have
guys
two
up
of
in
them.
y'all's
I think
area,
I have two
you
of
have a
them.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have a couple, you
Okay.
sure do,
All right.
yeah. And I'll be happy to take back what they say. There was one person there that spoke in behalf of, basically he is traditionalist 5-day, and he went out and visited all the 4-day schools in the southeast part of the state, and he come back with, and there are some that are making it work, and the direction based on the previous meeting tells me that there's possibly going to be a waiver. I mean, this bill it may be passed, but there would be a waiver if you can prove that you can go before the state board and convince them that we can do it in this many hours and so forth, as opposed to all these days. And we need to do this because of multiple reasons, and the biggest reason being they say they're saving money in these districts.
Well, I would just appreciate that if you made contact
I will,
with
most
the
definitely.
superintendents,
Now,
just to,
Okay, we checked the other day, and I didn't realize, I think Vernon's told me, I know a 4-day?
now, I don't know, they're actually an at-large school, so I wouldn't know. I think the two that I have are Locust Grove and Shoto.
4 days?
I know it's for the
Okay, well, if that be the case, then we may have more than what I told you, because Catoosa's a 4-day. And so, but anyway, I'll be happy to get out and visit with them and get their opinion. Okay, questions about our report?
Councilman Dobbins?
Yeah, Ron, do you know how many contestants we have for Miss Cherokee?
I think we have 4. I could be corrected on that. Lisa probably texted me here in a minute. She'll tell me.
Jennifer's
Shaking
shaking
their
her head.
head, yes.
Do what
She's
now?
nodding.
Shaking her
Yeah,
head.
Jennifer's nodding.
I mean,
You got that question right.
Okay.
well, being Miss Cherokee is a tremendous honor, but it seems like they have a lot of demands during that year.
Oh, yes.
I just wonder if we need to incentivize Miss Cherokee more. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here. What do we give them, $3,000 scholarship, and that's it?
Give them a little little food card, but we was. Is that right, Jennifer?
There's a committee you gotta be careful on that. You don't wanna step on those ladies' toes. They have
I
a
know
committee
that.
that recommends that. So, you guys can go before them if you want, but there is a committee that recommends those.
Yes. Councilman Shaw?
Ron, when and where was the Miss Cherokee contest going to be held this year?
Okay, it will be the Saturday night, the 24th, and it's at Cornerstone Fellowship Church. Reception starts at 4:30, and the competition starts at 6.
Wasn't it at Northeastern last year?
I think it's always been at this Cornerstone.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Shambaugh?
Ron, I was reading on your report, applications received for the scholarships, I take it, 5,548?
Mm-hmm.
Out of those, how many will be awarded, do you think? If they're actually, you think all those will go through?
Okay, yes, now I know, and Jennifer may correct me here, and that's fine, in the neighborhood of 450 that were denied, okay, because of various reasons. And the reasons are, well, I could spell out if need be. And there were, the last I talked to Chrissy, they had 400 plus that were still being worked on that had missing documents. 4,600 plus have been approved already. Yeah.
Is that, say, normal, more, less, or what in the past?
It increases every year. Every year that I've been here, it's increased some. It wasn't considerable this year, but it has increased some.
That seems pretty, though, impressive to me that we're funding that many kids. That's a good thing.
Most
Very
definitely,
good.
yes.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Councilman Crittenden?
Mr. Etheridge, just real quick, what are some of those reasons that they would be denied?
Of course, out of the boundaries,
Yeah.
out of 14 county and contiguous county areas. The exceeding semesters, too many, both on undergraduate and graduate. Not doing the community service. Actually, believe it or not, we've had refusal to do that on occasion. And we're not asking a whole lot there, 20 hours. And that's quite a bit to get for 20, for $2,000 for 20 hours of community service. And we have a lot of options of ways that they can do that community service. So,
Because it's too far to find.
Jennifer, is any other?
So not having the big enough load. Not making it
Right. Yeah, not passing enough hours, yeah, too, and not maintaining the 2.0 GPA.
That's 4 years, right?
Right.
And get it, bring
And we're really light, in my opinion, on the 2.0, that's, I think back though, whenever I was a freshman in college and that 2.0 may have been, up there pretty good, when you're,
All right, those are understandable right there. Thank you. Dave?
Councilman Smith?
On that community, is it because they can't find the place to do the community? Is that a lot of it?
Not really. Because we spell out, you know, I mean, where you can go, and it's pretty easy to get that done. I mean, even in the smaller communities, it's pretty easy. I mean, because there's areas, I mean, you can help the local churches, you can help your rest homes, you can help anything with Cherokee Nation where there's help needed and so forth, and you can help. So there's a lot of areas. Schools. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned
Councilwoman
schools.
Taylor?
I just want to make a comment too. If any of you, like your community meetings, those kids can help with those. Or if there's an opportunity in your community that you know about, if you will send it to education, they will put the word out for those kids, calling for volunteers, and they will help you recruit. If you need help to serve food or something at a community meeting, they'll help you with that.
Yes, thank you.
Councilman Buzzer?
Ron, I know at one time, did we track the amount of dollars that freshmen drop out? Is there a way that did we fix that one time?
Okay, I'm gonna make myself a note of that. We're gonna find,
I thought for some reason that we had given the money to the college. I can't remember what we did, but anyway, I'm just wondering how many money we spend on kids that drop out of college.
okay.
And if there's anything we can do, I don't know if you could change that to some way or not. I know it's been going on for years. I know years ago I'd asked, and it was like $900,000 that we had paid the kids that dropped out. But anyway, it'd be interesting to see. And I know we don't want to discourage kids from going to college, but still, if they're just going to go and enroll and they give the $2,000 and it's gone, you know, what do? We don't recoup any of that, I guess. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see.
No, and really the only punishment there is you're not coming back, which is pretty significant punishment if I'm the parent, you know, I mean.
I'm just curious to how many may drop out, you know. The initial enrollment, they go to school for 6 weeks and they drop out. So we're out to $2,000. Anyway, if you come up with a figure, be interesting.
Okay. We'll look.
Thanks, guys.
Derek, Councilman Shambaugh?
Just maybe to add to that, how many actually finish?
Okay.
From, you know, just be curious to see.
I know Chrissy's looking on, so she's go to work on it.
I have a comment, back to your comment, Counselor Dobbins, on Miss Cherokee. They get 3, 2, and 1. And it's a one-time, 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000. Last year, now, I just got off to the chairman, and sometimes it's hard to get our people to even apply for that, and even apply for higher ed scholarship. I don't know why, but last year, if you guys remember, we had a vendor come in and want to add a little bit more and give to each contestant, I think. And, you know, we have to be careful there on how we do that, because which vendor are we going to allow to do that? Yeah.
Councilman Shaw?
Ron, if there are only 4 contestants, and it's going to go 3, 2, and 1, is it possible it could go 3, 2, and 500, 500?
I don't know who makes that decision.
I just talked to the chair of that. You know, I said, if you want to make a change, I don't want to, because Mary Henderson's on there, Lisa's on there. They're really tight with us telling them what to do, because I tried that one time. So I said, why don't it come from you guys? Why don't you guys make a recommendation and we'll look at it? I wanted to make it them initiate.
I think I personally would feel bad for the young woman, the lone person up there in fourth place receiving nothing. When I think if we could have 2 third places at 500, it would be a much nicer thing.
Does fourth place not get anything?
Not typically, but since it's an exception this year, we've been talking about ways to try and make that happen
Okay.
so that the fourth place individual doesn't walk away with nothing. So we're working on that.
Yeah, that's good, that's good.
I appreciate that, thank you.
And then review it after this year, or, okay.
That's it. Any other questions for Ron? Ron, good report, and it's been awesome serving with you as our executive director. You've done a great job, and keep up the great work.
Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Next, we got Superintendent Leroy Qualls, Sequoia Schools.
Verna? What about Verna? Verna?
Oh, sorry, Verna. My apologies, Coach. Sorry. I was skipping around here. And I'm not going to get an invite to Thanksgiving dinner.
No pie for him, Berna.
Sorry.
Normally I would jump on it, but I have
Sorry.
to get back to the office. But anyway, welcome. Good afternoon.
No pie.
I wanted to remind you all, we're talking about scholarships, how many scholarships you all give to our infants and toddlers. Just to refresh your memory, Head Start began today, and you're given 680 scholarships to 3 and 4-year-olds and 200 infants and toddlers. So you should feel good about that this is the first scholarship or any benefits they reap from Cherokee Nation, other than maybe being born at Hastings Hospital. But we take them from here, and then they graduate into sometimes the immersion program, and then on to public schools, and we partner with 9 public schools, so we have a real good relationship. And Inola does go 4 days a week. They're out on Monday. I just confirmed that. But I wanted to say welcome to those that are outgoing. I want to echo what's been said about serving with you, and I want to invite you all back to the Thanksgiving dinner that we provide. It is a time for us to give thanks to all of your support. I'm not sure of the date. Shelley would know that, but I'm assuming it's around November 12th, somewhere in there. So the welcome mat is out. The biggest news I have this month is we are going to continue our participation in the FACES research. It's really a prestigious research project to be a part of, because at the end of 5 years they will have collected data on American Indian Alaska Native grantees, which they've not been a part of until about 5 years ago, and we got to participate in that. So this is really an honor for us to be in the second round. So we're excited to see what they find and all of the services that we provide. They're going to collect data and see what can make Head Start better, and see if how parents play a part in our decision making and so on. If there's more funding that needs to be made available to Head Start, or what services, including health, social, education, all of that will come out as a result of this research project. So we're eager to have our input. Also, we're starting focus groups this month. And those focus groups are comprised of folks that are already employees of Cherokee Nation. Today we have 8 folks in the new staff orientation, so thank you if you all helped us recruit that staff. We still have about 15 more to fill. It is a long process getting folks hired, and we dream of having full staff. But for the focus groups, the number one focus that we're looking at is recruitment, retention, and reward. We want our folks to be so happy to be working with children and youth, and if you're an educator, you know the rewards that comes from working with children and making a difference. We go a step beyond that in working with the families and see how we can make them self-sufficient and really engaged with their children all through their education process. So it starts with us, and we have to have happy staff. So we want to be sure and go through that, because sometimes money is not the only reward. I know it helps. It helps tremendously. But we have to think beyond that and outside of the box and think, how can we make the work environment, home away from home, because they are there more than they are at home, speaking for our children too. They're there more than their waking hours are with our staff. And we want to keep the same staff because there was research that have staff turnover. If you can imagine, those babies feel like they lost their third parent. And so we have to try to retain them in whatever we can do. And who else than to tell us except for the frontline staff that can tell us what can make their work experience better. And that involves the training. And one of the other work groups is the documentation every year. I want you to know just how strenuous the documentation that we have in our program. When we get audited, we have to show the federal review team that we have all of these procedures and all these documents that dictate what direction our program goes. And I want to thank Chrissy Nemo and the HR department, all of those folks who process our, they scrutinize all of the language in the documents. And so we want to get started on that early on so that we're not doing that the 11th hour before staff return. But let me back up and say thank you to Sohail Khan and the IRB who really advise us and take care of us in regard to any research projects that we participate in, because it's easy to jump into them and think we can do that, because we have been a part of several research projects through my tenure, and we have to be guided, and we appreciate them for helping us out. But again, an update on Weber's Falls. We went there last week, and they are going to renovate the building that got flooded. And we have ordered some replacement classroom kits and all that goes with it. And I was sharing with the superintendent, they might come out ahead with all the replacement. And we're hoping so anyway. With that, I'll take any questions.
Councilwoman Hatfield.
Would you explain the research projects again? I was listening, but
The FACES is the Family and Child Survey Experience, and it really does have, it's heavy on parent participation and what they got out of our program and what can make it better, what do we do well, where do we have improvement areas. Just a variety of health screenings. We have advisory boards that work with us very closely. We meet quarterly with them, and they tell us how we can improve, or we have questions for them if they can help us out with anything. We have advisory board members that have been on there since Head Start's been here, like Dr. Lewis and so many more.
Okay, I understand that. Who directs that? Who directs the research?
It's
Through
an organization called Mathematica got the grant, and it's through the Office of Head Start in D.C.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, thank you.
Councilwoman Vasquez.
Yes, and this might have been under Ron's report, but I'm sure you'll probably know this. Construction on the Children's Village Safe Room has started.
Completion date is September 16th, and
That's what
I don't know anything about construction, but it sure looks like they're moving right along, and we'll make that date.
Would we be able to tour it if we want?
You know what, that's on our agenda for the Thanksgiving time, November 12th. If that's the date to go out and tour it, surely will be completely finished then.
I can't wait
and
to see it.
equipped with little soft pillows and books and stuff like that, so.
We might want to eat in there.
Yeah.
Or that, after we-
But if you want to look at the ones that are already completed out and about, Cherry Tree has one, Jay, Pryor, Nowata, Kenwood.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, sir.
Councilman Crittenden.
One of those scholarships for the little ones you mentioned, is that Cherokee dollars there?
No, it's federal, but it's funneled through Cherokee Nation.
Bet you in the income guidelines are all federal, right?
Yes, and I'm glad you brought that up, because this time of year, I want to sing praises for our recruitment team. Chad Cochran, Marilee Carey, Margaret Taylor, and Linda Marino will be a part of that. They go out and about and recruit our families. And unfortunately, sometimes this time of year, they take a little bit of verbal abuse because we have all the over-income families that want in. And I don't know quite how to resolve that, because I feel like early education should be for all children, and income should not be a part of it, because it's a federal guideline.
We can't do anything about it.
But we do enroll over income children. We're allowed to enroll up to 49%, but we have to keep that percentage down, and we have to enroll under income first.
Right. Are we at full capacity as far as?
We have to stay at full capacity.
Thank you, ma'am.
That's why the recruitment team goes out and about, and they're recruiting staff and children, but mostly children. I too want to say thank you all for all your support and continued support. I want to sing Deputy-elect Warner's praises because he was involved in the last review, and that comes all too often. But this should be in about a couple of years. We'll go through it again. And certainly Councilman Jordan, who is a mainstay in our program, he's been involved since I was the teacher of the child, so I appreciate all that. Anything else?
I just want to say I appreciate having the opportunity to work with you, and we've known each other for 25 years. But anyways, it was an honor to be able to serve in a professional level with you as well.
Likewise, thank you, and I want to give you credit for the.
And your dinners were amazing, all 8 years of them.
Well, thank you for the camera idea. We have written for more money to ensure that all.
Great. Well, in the day and time we're in, unfortunately, we need as much security as possible. So
Yes, and we're trying to convey that message to our parents. There are a few objections to it, to having cameras in our classroom.
Councilman Hatfield.
I just want to thank you too as well, because I feel you're very personal. You're very personal with our babies, and that's what they are. I call them my babies, and it's so heartfelt, and I appreciate that because being an educator, that means a lot. But you're always, you always think of the child first. I like that.
I speak for everyone in saying that, and I have one biological child, but really I have 881.
Yes. I just want to thank you because that's, of course, it's our future.
Yes.
But you do a wonderful job, and all your staff. Thank you.
They do. I want to
Thank you, Chairman.
Councilman Anglin.
Yeah. Vernon, I want to thank you also. I think you and I go back probably right at 20 years.
Yeah, thank you.
And I could always reach out to you, and you would always, give me the right answers and help me out. And so you've always been
Likewise, you got us started at Sperry.
Yeah. But you was very interested in helping us.
Thank you. Thank
when
you.
nobody else was listening.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you. Stay cool. And
I'm burning up right now.
I
It's
see
hot in here.
Thanksgiving.
Is anybody else hot?
No.
Yes, that's it. Thanksgiving. All right.
Thank you.
Anybody else? No saying. All right. Good report. Coach Qualls, now you're up. Sorry.
Still want to find these.
Good afternoon. My goodness, look at the time. It's time for the next meeting to start. So if you got any questions on my report. Actually, I've got a couple of things. Echo what everyone else has said. The outgoing council people, great job. And part of an amazing governing body altogether. You guys did amazing work for the last 4 years, and some of you 8 years. So congrats there. School started last Wednesday. We're still 3 teachers short. We're still trying. I'll make this as quick as possible. 368 students enrolled as of today. We have 74 in the dorms. Believe it or not, parent-teacher conference coming up 27th and 29th. It's on a Tuesday and a Thursday before the holiday starts because we've got a quilt show in our old gym and some stuff going on in the new gym on Thursday. And we're out on Friday, so we're squeezing our half days in, 3 hours per day to get our 360 minutes in for that day. So we're letting out on Friday. And we have done so for the last X number of years because of the crowd, the safety factor. Softball plays at home today, believe it or not. Ready or not, here we go. And volleyball plays at home tomorrow. Volleyball has a tournament at home Friday and Saturday. And I think softball plays every day but Wednesday. Every day but Wednesday, and that includes Friday and Saturday. They're in a Broken Arrow tournament. Football plays Muldrow at our place on the 6th of September, opening game. just around the corner. We've got a BIA facility assessment inspection coming up on August the 26th. It's more or less on the condition of our facilities. That'll be very interesting to see how we come out on that. They will be at our place all day long. Great news, one girl came up in the hall a couple of days ago and said, Coach, said, and she calls me Coach even though I'm superintendent, she said, I've committed. I said, to Vanita? She goes, no. She said, I'm going to UTSA. And I said, awesome. Lexi Keys. I said, OSU? She said, no. University of Texas, San Antonio. So that's a good place. Good basketball school. She commented, and they're not a football school yet. And I said, I know. They just started a year or two ago. And have fun. Go to class.
We'll
Anyway.
forgive her for going to Texas, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. Again, thank all of you for the work that you put in, the hours. I know it's a challenge, and you guys do a great job. But that concludes my report.
Any questions for Leroy? Coach, it's 8 years flew by, but you've taken our school to a whole nother level. And as an alumni, I'm proud to see where it's at. And I hope you can stick in there for another 8 years. Probably don't want to, but I hope you do. But I look forward to the future of Sequoia with your leadership.
Thank you for the kind words.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
20
Thank
years
you.
ago, did you think you'd be reporting to the chairman of the education committee?
I would have played more minutes if I'd known that.
Yeah.
Can't take it back, right?
Get your report, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, see you. So now to announcements. Any announcements? Seeing none, all those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
Aye.